If you happen to miss them at the opening event that we had this month at down in O'Brien Park for the Peace Walk that we scheduled for the culmination of the season of nonviolence, man, the CSL Parker Band showed up huge, folks. So that, that kind of goes a little bit with the theme, that song that they had there. Was that, we started out the month with a walk, right? A peace walk. And the idea here is it jives really well with our monthly theme, which was stepping into, as our friend Dr. Nadine likes to say, the unknown. Everybody catch that? Have you seen this? It's what's the unknown. And as part of that process and part of what I've been invited to do, what we've all been invited to do, is to try something new on First Size. That's been part, a little bit of the theme, that we've had here over the course of this month, is trying something different, trying something that's maybe a little bit uncomfortable. First we kind of try them a little bit as an individual, right? There's something about the individual and the collective. We try things out on an individual basis to see how they really fit us before we want to get involved in a collective quite a lot of times. You look at the collective that we put forward there for the group that was marching for that peace walk, and I want to go ahead, here's the thing that's funny about it, is it's going to change into a march very soon, which is a little bit different than a walk, because a march actually has this element of there's a group of people who are united within a single purpose. Thus the title for today, which is your left, your left, your left, right, left. Which hopefully brings into your mind perhaps, some military things. Because it sure did for me. When I thought about this idea of stepping into the unknown, I'm thinking, gosh, I've spent an awful lot of time toeing the water of stepping into something. Does anybody identify with that? Toeing the water, maybe not quite getting in there. Is there a difference between that and looking to finally march with confidence into something? Well, perhaps part of that could be the idea that, we're on the same rhythm, the same cadence, the same vibration as a good number of other people. You see, isn't that what marching is all about? What do you think about it in terms of military purpose? Everybody can think of the nasty drill sergeant in your head, right? Everybody have a drill sergeant? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person that has that drill sergeant. But I can tell you this, is that the drill sergeant can be helpful for you to get up and to get over the hump, to be able to move in a direction that might be necessary. Perhaps you might think of R. Lee Ermey in Full Metal Jacket. Particularly not a very nice man. But what was his whole point? His whole point was to be able to help to establish rhythm. I'm not saying that I condone the man's methods. I'm not saying that a drill sergeant is necessary. But maybe it's really just this idea of we respond to conscience. We respond to that within us, which is asking us to move forward toward that which is a world that works for everyone. And as a result, we get with some like-minded people and we develop a sense of rhythm with that. Because it is the rhythm of life that makes all things flow. Best summed up by our friend Maya Angelou. But if you need a quote, go to Maya Angelou. She's beautiful. She has absolutely everything. She might say it like this: stepping onto a brand new path is difficult, but not more difficult than remaining in the same situation. Ooh, right? It's kind of this idea of, what I'm doing is really, it's actually hard work to stay in the same position. If what we know anything about the science of mind tells us is that when we connect with spirit and we connect with that which is within us, it becomes much easier to move forward, to gain clarity and rhythm with whatever it is that we're doing. Another quote from Maya Angelou: everything in the universe has a rhythm. Everything dances. So what is dancing? But another form, is marching kind of a form of dancing in some respects? Everybody's in the same time. Everybody's in the same syncopation. It's like the beginning of all of this. So as we're in a form of marching, we begin to build what is known as a vibration. This speaks to us right now as a collective, as a group of people who are looking for a new minister. What's our vibration to be? Right? We know that things vibrate, and that the spirit of love, the spirit of peace, the spirit of harmony, those things vibrate at a much higher level than those of fear, those of stepping, those of resentment, those of disorder, those of separation. When we focus on those higher vibrations, we have a tendency and a power unlike anything that is imagined. And we have physical examples of it. A great physical example of this is with marching, military marching. There have been several times in history before they really understood the engineering behind harmonics, which is really a form of vibration, that literally soldiers marching across a bridge caused the bridge to collapse because they were so in sync. They were so syncopated. They had so much power and so much order within everything that they were doing that it literally shattered the bridge. It happened twice in the 1800s, once in France and I believe once in Germany. Another prime example of something where that vibration could actually raise that up is an example of Galloping Gertie, which is the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in Washington, folks, which collapsed back in 1941, 1942. This gentleman over here is nodding his head. 1942? Yeah. And what happened is that the vibration became so strong that it caused the bridge to fail. Lesson learned here is this. Potential lesson. When we operate in a collective, we have great power. Great power. The power to destroy. But the thing that is cool with this is that those very same soldiers, in marching across there and learning to do this thing called breaking the step, which is the expression of individuality. That's what it really is. Think about it. You're marching and then all of a sudden you miss a step, right? That was enough to break up the vibration so that the bridge would not collapse. Everybody gets across the bridge, no problem. It takes individuality within collective for things to really work. When I think about a drill sergeant, I thought about the Army initially. Man, I kind of went to, where's individuality in that? We like individuality, don't we? We don't want to lose our sense of that. We don't want to lose our sense of individuation, our sense of agency, our sense of choice, of spirit working through us. And it seems like at times that if I'm to surrender to a collective, what will happen to me? The truth is that the collective cannot function without the individual marching to their own drum at times. But we also do not have the effective power that is necessary to move to a different level without acting in complete accordance at times. Neither of these truths is exclusive. They merely go together. Insomuch as if we look into the dynamics of music and looking at the dynamics of harmonics, there's something beautiful that actually happens with that. Has anybody ever heard that an opera singer can actually shatter glass? Has anyone ever heard of this? This was absolute news to me. This was absolute news to me. I'd never heard of this before. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'd been sleeping for a long time, but I digress. That is a statement of the power of harmony. A statement of the power of unity, really, is what it is. And that is us coming from principle. I invite you to entertain. What would happen if collectively a voice was sounded? Would we shatter an old paradigm? Would we begin to move into that which is calling to be expressed in, through, and as each and every one of us? We are on the cusp of evolving into more love, more peace, more harmony. The reading that Kenny offered this morning was absolutely beautiful, and the idea that that's what we're called here to express. We're called to express love and express it in the highest order. And we do so when we are best with each other. When we're with each other. When we are connected with more people. As a group and as a collective, we can do things that a single person cannot. As a matter of fact, if we look back into history, that it is people's voice in objecting to things that have been going wrong, that have made all the difference in the world for us being able to move forward into a different area. What does our founder have to say about this? This is page 158 from the Science of Mind text, under the heading, Available to All. Persons familiar with biblical history hardly need a lesson about faith, for the 11th chapter of Hebrews is full of instances proving its sustaining power. Paul enumerates at length the experiences of Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Gideon, Samuel, and the prophets, and many more, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed mighty in power, turned to fight armies of aliens, women received their dead, raised to life again. Our ancestors believed these records and embodied, meaning demonstrated, this living faith in their consciousness, thereby leaving us a great legacy of faith. Whatever they did, they were able to do because they grasped an instinctive faith and marched boldly onward. FDR was known to have said, "What do we have to fear but fear itself?" A great line, right? It's really the idea that we play small. Are we through playing small? Are we done playing small? Are we done playing small? Yes! Is new thought ready to become new action? Yes! That's what we are being called to do, friends. The old paradigm of being able to just come to church on Sunday and feel good about ourselves is ending.
Yay!
It's going away. It's going away. It's coming to, because if you look around, we're having a hard time attracting young people, right? Why is that? Because they want action. They are interested in, what are you doing? Show me what you are doing, not what you are saying. I want to be able to participate in it. I want to be able to have the actual embodiment of what you talk about. Show me, don't tell me. That's what they want. And you know what? They're right. As painful as that is to admit, they're right. Because that's actually going to require of me something that I really don't want to deliver, right? I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be threatened. I want to have my good, and I want my good to be mine alone. And then I don't need to be, I don't need to really reach out and to be love. Because here's the thing about that. There's some requirement with that. How do I know I'm loved if I'm not showing up in places where it may be absent? Where it may be difficult, it may be painful. Yes, the feeling should be here, but it should be enough that we are willing to extend ourselves in a way that we haven't done it before. And that is the creative power of spirit. Most of the time, we are busy recycling things, folks. I don't know if you know that or not. Creative spirit means that it is something that has not been before. Kenny, with what she did this morning, that's the creative power of spirit. We've never all participated in group yoga before. That's the creative power of spirit. We need to learn to love in a different way than we ever have. It's going to require taking a risk. It's going to require being vulnerable. It's going to require doing some shit I don't want to do. Anybody identify with that? Because that's the truth. M. Scott Peck had the greatest definition of love, and this is what I still use today. I like Ernest's definition, but I like M. Scott Peck a little bit better for this. He defines love as such: the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own, and here's the key, or another's spiritual growth. Where am I going to find these people that need to grow spiritually? Where am I going to find them? Where are they at?
Everywhere.
They're everywhere. But mostly they're where I'm not. Mostly. And that's what I need to begin to look at. Is there a reason I'm avoiding a place? Is there a reason I don't want to go there? Folks, I just spent 10 weeks in the city of Detroit. Who's been there recently? I don't see a heck of a lot of hands. There we go. That's right. That was really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. Why? Because I like my spirituality safe. I want it to just be about me. I don't want it to be about anybody else. I want to be able to stay home and read my book. Be comfortable. And that should be just enough, right?
No.
No, it isn't. The only way we are going to get there is if we all get there. There is serious work that needs to be done in that city. Serious work to be done in that city. There's serious work to be done around here. We are the people to do it. We are the people to do it. Our philosophy, our faith, our way of life is timely. It is here for a purpose and a reason, and you, my friends, are the people that get to go out and carry this to people. What a blessing. What an absolute power. I mean, it's beyond powerful. Beyond powerful. Rabbi Hillel would put it this way: if I am not for myself, who will be for me? Individual, right? You think about this in individual terms. If I am not for others, what am I? If I am not for others, am I coming from that place of being spirit? Who's the I that's acting there? Am I acting in fear? Or am I acting as spirit? And if not now, when? When? There's no time like the present. There is no time like now for us to begin to pick up the mantle and deliver. That's what we've come here to do, folks. Each and every one of us. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here. We wouldn't be sitting here right now. We are ready to deliver. And so I quote today, or I will end today with another quote from Maya Angelou, which will segue back into our song. No matter what happens, or how bad it seems today, life does go on. And thanks to you, it will be better.